All right, what is next for Mirko Krokop? I mean, man, Mirko Krokop. I mean, talk about. The guy's, first of all, the guy's a legend in the sport. The guy was a legend in K1 before he even fought in MMA, and just an absolute MMA legend. I mean, if he never even came to the UFC, he would just have gone down just from fighting in Pride, in his fights in Pride. I mean, he would have just been regarded as an MMA legend. I mean, it's crazy that he's still here and he's still fighting. And, talk about the fighter spirit. This guy leaves the UFC and was just like disgusted, I think he lost to Roy Nelson. And then he left the UFC, and I figured that was it, And then I started seeing that, I saw him in some fight in like Japan or somewhere like that, where he armbarred a guy, and then I see he's fighting K1 again. Then he goes, and then granted K1's not what it used to be, but he goes and wins the whole thing, and then he comes back to the UFC, fights Gabriel Gonzaga, which, I thought that was a bad idea. I'm like, what is going on here, man? So he beats Gonzaga, and I think the guy should just retire. But I heard some talk that he wants to come back and fight all the guys that he lost to. Really, he should just retire. He came back, he beat Gonzaga, and it was a pretty cool win, pretty cool victory. He ripped that guy's face up. That's for sure. But, prior to that, like, he didn't look bad. Like, he was doing his thing, like his strategy and whatnot. But anyway, what is next for Mirko Krokop? It sounds like he's going to keep fighting. So if I was the UFC, I would give him Frank Mir to fight. Now, Frank Mir knocked out Krokop, and I don't know, but Frank Mir in his last fight knocked out Bigfoot Silva, and then he said he's been working on his boxing. Sorry, I was staring at a chick walking by. I'm sitting by the window here. Whoo-wee, man. Frank Mir was saying, he had been working on his boxing and his jab and all this, and I believe that, but also, I think, Bigfoot was on roids. We found out all that time, and this guy, I'm pretty sure his career is over. This guy has no chin at all, and although I've said that about Arlovsky and different fighters, and some of these guys just keep fighting, and heck. But what might be a good fight, guys? Mirko Krokop versus Andrei Arlovsky. I'd almost rather see new fights than watch Krokop fight guys that he's fought before. But they could do that. They could throw some kind of cans at Krokop. Like Roy Nelson, this guy, he's probably going to be, he's been losing all his fights lately. I gotta watch what I say because I'm not sure of everybody that he's lost to. But they could do, maybe a Krokop versus Roy Nelson rematch. But you guys know, I've given you my thoughts on rematches. I don't like rematches. I don't think it accomplishes anything. Say example, Krokop fights Roy Nelson and beats him. Well, it doesn't change the fact that at that point in time when they fought the first time that Roy Nelson beat him. All it means is that now at a later point in time, when two fighters are at a different point in their lives, a different point in their career, that Krokop beat him. And Roy Nelson might beat him twice. So then what does that show? So I'd rather kind of see some new fights. I think Andrei Arlovsky versus Krokop would be a good fight if Krokop wants to keep fighting. Now, I do think Arlovsky, I don't know. That would be a good fight, though, guys. I really think Cro Cop should retire, but he probably should have retired a long time ago. And the guy just keeps going. I mean, talk about a warrior spirit. But it sure would be great to see him string along a few wins and retire. However, I doubt he'll do that. I think this guy's just going to fight as long as his body, his brain, and these promotions will give him fights. I mean, he's just a rare individual that can mentally just do that. And, you know, but really I think he should retire just based on how he looks. And, I mean, the Cro Cop of old with the head kicks flying, you know, like right off the bat and just boom. I mean, he was just like a hair trigger waiting to go off, and he just let it go, man. And he really should retire. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on that, and I will see you later.